Hybrid off-road mom cars are the next big thing. We're comparing the Woodland RAV4 to the CR-V Trailsport. I'll include a link to the Honda and Murray's website in the description down below. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. The RAV4 is powered by a 2.5 liter hybrid 4-cylinder that puts out 219 horsepower. Fuel economy is 38 around town and then 35 on the highway. The CR-V is powered by a 2 liter 4-cylinder hybrid putting out 204 horsepower. Fuel economy with this is 38 on the highway, so the same as the RAV4, but a little bit less around town, 33 miles per gallon. The more subscribers that I have, the more access I get to cars to review. Really appreciate it if you'd help out with that. When it comes to front-end features with the CR-V, you got that big old Trailsport badge. But all jokes aside, just headlights and blacked out trim, as you can see. The RAV4 has fog lights, which is a nice addition. And you can see it's sportier with the look, but it's got a lot more plastic, unpainted trim compared to the CR-V. The CR-V's tire and wheel setup is 235 by 60 by 18. The RAV4's tire and wheel setup is 225 by 60 by 18. They both have softer all-terrain tires, but I will say the RAV4's tires are a little bit more aggressive, a little bit. They've both gone for the blacked out theme. You can see the mirror caps, the door handles on the RAV4, the door handles on the CR-V too. And then here's that side silhouette with the CR-V. And here's the same for the RAV4. That blacked out roof, pretty cool feature. Now the CR-V has this fancy power hatch, a 12 volt in the rear, and quite a bit of cargo space. But sadly, no spare tire underneath the load floor. Now, the RAV4 actually has a manual hatch for the opening. Little outlet and a 12 volt in the back, and just like the CR-V, tons of storage space. You get this nice mat covering too. And Toyota actually includes a spare tire. CR-V has really cool taillights. You've got a Trailsport badge. RAV4 taillights are also cool. You just get a Woodland sticker. Now we are in a little bit of a slant. The CR-V is on the lower portion, but looking at things, they're about the same size with most items. In the back of the RAV4, I've got good legroom. I've got vents here in the rear, USB ports, these nice cloth seats with kind of a cool design in the center. Also have pretty solid headroom here in the back. Space is pretty similar here in the CR-V. USB ports, vents, cloth seats. You got orange stitching on these ones, but still pretty fancy looking. And then headroom in the CR-V, it feels like it's a little bit less, but pretty similar overall. The RAV4 comes equipped with blind spot monitoring. You've got cloth seats up front, power adjustable with lumbar support. Well, actually the passenger seat's manual with the adjustment for both cars too. Anywho, the CR-V also has blind spot monitoring, and it's got a cloth power adjustable seat up front with lumbar support. Let's start up the Yoda and see what's happening in here. Nice trim around the steering wheel. We've got functions like adaptive cruise control, volume voice command controls on the other side. Partially analog, partially digital gauge cluster here in the center. Lets you know what's happening with your fuel economy if you have that selected. And then also lets you know if you're in EV mode or not, like we are right now. Backup camera in reverse, pretty good resolution with the camera. Easy to use infotainment system, not the biggest, but gets the job done. Dual zone climate, we've got heated seats, stability control on top of that. 12 volt and a USB port just in front of the shifter right here. This does actually have a trail mode. You also have your on-road modes, including the normal mode, and there's even an EV mode. Solid storage with the cup holders. Center console has more USB ports inside. There's even storage above the glove box. Now I do want to mention, no sunroof with this. Now let's see what's going on with the CR-V. Soft touch all around the steering wheel, adaptive cruise control, heat steering wheel function, all built onto the wheel itself. I'd say we've got more digital than analog with this compared to the Toyota. You can customize the information that's displayed just like the Toyota. Backup camera, I will say the resolution is a little bit worse than the RAV4. Easy to use infotainment system. The biggest thing, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, which is what most people use once they pop into these screens. Dual zone climate with heated seats. Bunch of USB ports, 12 volt, and this actually has a wireless phone charging pad. Pretty cool looking shifter. On the next step, we've got a drive mode select, hill descent control, parking brake, and brake hold. This doesn't actually have any off-road mode, surprisingly. Couple cup holders, got this big center console, nice trim on top, and this actually has a sunroof. The RAV4 stickers for $39,000. The CR-V is about $40,000. Let's see which one performs the best. What this rugged off-road capable CR-V is all about. I think it's cool that Honda's making this. I just hope that they don't go too hard with the advertising. Like if you want more off-road capability from Honda, real off-road capability, you're gonna get a Passport or a Ridgeline, not a CR-V. But it is cool they're putting the Trailsport nameplate on this. So seats are pretty comfortable. I'm surprised they're doing cloth seats at this price point. Again, $40,000. You think they would do the synthetic leather, but you know, beggars can't be choosers nowadays. Now, I will say the overall interior again feels like Hondas do feel a little bit more upscale, kind of with the soft touch they do throughout with the climate controls. Those also feel a little bit more upscale compared to some other cars in the segment. And hopefully we'll be able to get into traffic soon so we can actually drive the car, but it might take some time considering it's rush hour. Oh, we got lucky. Now Honda's powertrain is very smooth. I've tested several hybrids from Honda and I'm always impressed with the performance. It's very quick to transition from one point to the next. Look at that. Quick, smooth. You don't feel like you get any power loss. They just do a really good job with the performance on this hybrid powertrain. I think that performance does lead to a little bit worse fuel economy, but I think it's worth it for a smoother driving experience personally. It's just my 2 cents on that. Now, when it comes to just driving around, this is nice. It's smooth, it's quiet, and the seats are pretty comfortable overall. I think there's a lot to appreciate about this when it comes to just the normal day-to-day performance. Might be exciting to some people, but I think it's really well balanced, all things considered. And we finally have freedom to be able to accelerate. Well, depending on how slow this classic car is. Yes, very slow. It's a cool car though. It's a cool car. I don't think there's anyone behind me, so I'm just gonna kind of give these people a bit of space because they're gonna just take forever to get up and move. Yeah, that is so smooth, sharp. It's got great power. You guys are probably wondering about tire noise. Like, it's there, but I don't think it's, I mean, yeah, I don't think it's any worse than a regular CR-V. I think that, you know, you really only get a huge detriment from all-terrain tires when you go up to like a 33 or a 35, right? Big tire that you're gonna see on a Jeep or something. On a car like this, you go from the street tires to the all-terrains. Yeah, the ride quality might be a little bit worse. It is a little bit worse, and you know, road noise might be a little bit higher, but it's pretty much negligible for the most part. You get used to it, and it's very small amounts overall. So the Trailsport, I think this was done quite well. I know a lot of people will be critical of this. We all know that, you know, manufacturers are just playing into what people want. Everyone wants to have the off-road looks, even though they're not going to take it off-road, because off-road cars look cool. So this having that, I think, is a big plus. Just understand this is a CR-V hybrid. This is not a Jeep. So you can take it on dirt roads, but you know, it's going to be the extent. This is not a hardcore rock crawling machine or anything like that. RAV4 Woodland, back to back with the CR-V Trailsport. Now the seats in the RAV4 I think are a little bit more comfortable than the Honda seats. Not a deal breaker for me by any means, but a little bit more comfort with these seats. And I think the suspension maybe a little bit more comfortable. Again, not a like, oh, night and day difference. There's a difference though. Yeah, the powertrain's not unsmooth, but it's not quite as seamless as what you have with the Honda. It's got good torque. It's got good power like the Honda, but yeah, it's not quite as razor sharp feeling. That's what you got going on with the Honda. I think the tires do a little bit better. But the thing to know about Toyota with tires is they always release their cars with half tread on the tires for initial ride quality. That's kind of something that Toyota does, which is I don't know. I think they should stop. I'd rather have more tire tread than have better initial ride quality. I think that's silly if you ask me. But it's just something that Toyota does. So other than that, which one's better? Well, the features aren't perfectly comparable because the Honda has like a power hatch, whereas this manual hatch. The Honda has a sunroof, this does not. So the Honda is more expensive, but it also offers you more features. So it's like, well, you're paying a little bit more money, but you get more for that. I haven't been getting the EPA rating on this with fuel economy. I've been averaging 34, and I've been doing highway and city driving. So it's a tough choice. I think a lot of people will say Toyota because of the powertrain, because they trust Toyota's hybrid more than Honda's setup. But I'd have to say that I think it's almost going to come down to like style, which style you like better, because they're so close in price, they're so close in features, they're so close in performance. It's like the Honda has better acceleration with the feeling there, but then the Toyota has better fuel economy and a more trustworthy powertrain is what many people would say. So, which do you choose? Kind of a tough one. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you'd go RAV4 or CR-V. But, well, I think it's cool that we got mommy hybrid off-road SUVs. I think it's kind of dorky, but kind of cool.